the people that are practicing unethically or unprofessionally in the market, they are not strangers. They are not from the banking industry. They are people who are insurance practitioners. So where is the problem coming from?
In every society, you always have a bad egg.
Okay.
In every 12,
there must be a Judas.
There must be a Judas. So the ability to be able to capture the Judas and either spend more time with them or get them out before they spoil the egg in the basket is a critical challenge that we'll have. And looking at the Nigerian society today, you can see that the problem is all over the place. We can't live in isolation of the society. Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria has been shadowed with the responsibility of educating and training in conjunction with the insurance practitioners. And like our elder has said, they have even gone to the extent of establishing a college where trainings will be easily made available. Some of us were lucky when the exchange rate was good. We had opportunity to travel abroad to even benefit from trainings in UK and other places. But the exchange rate is so bad now that it becomes very, very expensive. But even that notwithstanding, there are two things I believe the industry should address itself to. Everybody must be given a total training. And when I say total training, not only training in insurance, they must be trained in the ICT, they must be trained in management, they must be trained in finance, so that you can grow them for the leadership of the industry tomorrow. If the likes of Lejadu, Oniwude, all of them did not train, succession would have been difficult in the insurance industry today. So those of us that are there today, we should also continue to work in such a way that we can look back and be happy that, oh, I trained these people and they are doing well. And one way we can do it is to ensure that we give everybody total training. That having been said, that will involve companies devoting, and the supervisory authority must also look at it, devoting a percentage of their income to developing staff. If you don't develop them, you get whatever you get. The way you lay your bed is the way you will sleep on it. So if you refuse to train them, they will not be able to give much to the company. And whatever percentage that is devoted to training is not spent on only one person or two persons, the managing director and one other person. It's made to go across the entire organization so that everybody will be in a position to contribute his own quota. Also, staff should be encouraged to train themselves. Job is competitive. Your employer may not be able to train you, but you must remain relevant to that organization. If you don't train yourself, you are not relevant to the organization. They could be lucky to get somebody else who is trained somewhere, offer that person a little amount above yourself, and off you go. So we really need to look at training, not only on the aspect of Chartered Insurance Institute alone. We should look at it as a total package, and it must involve everybody, personal, corporate, as well as the institute. And with that, we find out that a lot of areas that we are unable to address in the industry becomes addressed. A lot of talents come up in the industry. A lot of products are developed that can capture virgin market, create a niche for the industry, and the industry will just begin to grow in leaps and bounds.
Okay, speaking about training, I'm going to come to that. About some of these professional practices that we see in the market. I do know that the institute at the time, they have this ethics committee. And someone had asked before that, how come all these things are happening? We talk about it in the market, and yet nobody has been sanctioned. No, especially by the academy, because everybody, those that are practicing insurance, they all go through at some point or the other, they all go through certification from the institute. So how come the ethics committee, would it be wise if the ethics committee actually also rise to the occasion to maybe sanction people so that people can actually sit up and we'll begin to see less of some of these unhealthy practices that we have in the market? Mr. Falade.
Okay, to me, the issue has a lot of dimensions. Now we take it from the training aspect first. The institute is training professionals, right? Certifying them as professionals.
Yes.
But that you are a professional does not make you to work, does not ensure professionalism in your activities, right? That you have a professional qualification is not a guarantee of professionalism in the way you practice. Now, we should look at what is done in other countries. And if you look at the structure of the insurance industry in this country, apart from underwriting companies, there are intermediaries, brokers, and agents. I will dwell on agents. Before you can sell life policies in the US, you must be licensed. To be licensed, you must meet a minimum qualification conditions. Now, if you conduct yourself in an unprofessional manner and your license is withdrawn, means you have lost everything. But is that the case in Nigeria?
No.
If somebody has a CI qualification and he misbehaves, apart from the qualification, there is no licensing requirement for practice. Even in underwriting companies, you have ACI. If there is a licensing requirement by the supervisory authorities and a person misbehaves and the license is withdrawn, it means that he cannot even work in the industries. Right? That aspect needs to be addressed. It will curb on professionalism. For the intermediaries, like agents, although there is provision for licensing, and of course, the institute is supposed to also conduct training and certify them. But I look at the structure of the training the institute has for the salespeople, especially in the life. It is inadequate, very, very inadequate. Very, very and if you look at the NICOM website, the number of licensed agents in the country, right, will give you an idea of what I'm saying. In this country, I'm sure that they are, on their website, too, unless that website is not up to date, they are not up to 5,000 licensed agents. Are we saying that the 20-something life offices are having less than 5,000 agents, or less than 10,000 agents? Now, the quality of business that companies get is a function of the quality of the training given to the salespeople.
True.
If the quality of training is low, they will bring low business, right?
Yes.
Which means high risk business. So all these things should be, what I'm saying is the current training that people are having, to me, is not adequate. And that aspect should be addressed. Even after a person has qualified as a chartered person, there should be continuous training. I'm not talking of CPD now, because most of the most of what you get in the CPDs are seminar type programs.
Yes.
But I'm talking of training program that will give people understanding, classroom type people. I mean, the classroom type training, followed by examination, right? So that will make people to continually develop themselves, and also guarantee that their license will remain in force. If you don't undergo these further trainings, it means that your license can be withdrawn. right? So if all of these things are done, I'm sure there will be considerable improvement in the industry, and it will be beneficial. Then they also mentioned the issue of the consumers, especially the third-party motor insurance. You see, the consumers of motor insurance in this country are not adequately informed about their rights. What is a third-party motor insurance for? That is to say, if my motor car, and because of using my car, maybe I caused damage to another person's property, or I injured somebody. How many people who have been injured really made claims? So what I'm saying is, whether it will be done by the industry or the Consumer Protection Council or whoever, the consumers need to be educated about their rights. Once people know their rights, they will make claims on even third-party motor insurance, and that will ensure that the companies, do what they are supposed to do as professionals. So the issue of, in fact, that will even eliminate or minimize the issue of rate cutting.
Okay, so I'm sure they are not going to do training for the customers. So
that's why I said maybe the duty of the Consumer Protection Council or a government agency to make people understand or know their rights and enforce their rights. You cannot injure somebody with your motor vehicle in the advanced countries, and the injured person will not make a claim. They will.
Okay, Doctor,
I thought you were talking about professionalism.
Professional, yes.
You see, the supervisory authority, they have code of ethics for those of us doing underwriting business. The Chartered Insurance Institute also has code of ethics for its members. So if any member of the institute that is carrying our certificate, that is Chartered Insurance of Nigeria certificate, commits an offense or does not apply the normal, it doesn't go by the ethics of the profession or violates the ethics, that professional insurance man will come under this disciplinary action of the institute. And there is a disciplinary committee of the Chartered Insurance Institute that will look into that aspect. So where everybody is careful, if you're a professional, you have to be very careful. Protect your profession. Protect your integrity. And you don't want to be seen that tomorrow somebody is asking you to withdraw your license because you are not really following the ethics of the profession. Or the supervisory body is even withdrawing your license to operate. So we have to be very, very careful.
Is it every insurance product that can actually be sold on the online platform?
No. In fact, when you mentioned the case of online, I was about to tell you, look, insurance companies offer various products. It's not all the products that will be suitable, for sale through the online platform. So you'll have to look at the context of the products, and then look at the appropriate channel to which you can sell that product. Online can work for some products, but it cannot work for all products. There are products that there must be face-to-face selling. There is a product that you need to tell the prospect, these are the things you need to look out for. So that has to be there. Online might not be able to do that. Then for the underwriter, there are also some risks involved. Okay, anyway, in Nigeria, there's no proper underwriting. Sorry for saying that anyway. That is true. That is true. There's no proper underwriting in Nigeria. Otherwise, why would somebody say, I want to buy third-party motor insurance, and you just go and pay 5,000? What's the correlation between that 5,000 you are asking him to pay and the risk that he is proposing for insurance? There is no correlation. For the first time when I was in England, I was going with the mentality of a Nigerian. I said, okay, I wanted to buy insurance. I said, give me a third party. I was surprised that even the price for that third party was more expensive than the comprehensive. It was because there was a proper underwriting. But in Nigeria, we don't do that. And that's what those are part of the things that you will be facing when you are talking about online. Look at motor insurance, for instance. Maybe the person is in Maiduguri and asking him, where do you park your car? You know, where you park your car matters. It will have effect on your premium. If you say you park inside your garage, of course that should attract a lower premium when you look at other factors. If you say it's parked in front of your house, that should still be a little bit. Then along the street, the risk is higher. So how are you going to be able to ascertain that for a car that is in Maiduguri? So these are some of the challenges that you'll be facing with, and then how you can overcome it.
Mr. Gbenga should say something.
Online platform will showcase all the products you have. Whether we like it or not, is the way to go. Is one of the avenues we have to adopt as a channel to push insurance products.
Are you going to sell you are going to sell life assurance on online?
Mr. Agutade, just hold on a little bit. And in pushing all your products online,
Yes.
it's going to be up to a certain level. After which, we all know the way online platforms work. The moment you are visiting my site, I have somebody monitoring that. And at that point, you know it up to a point, oh, this is a product I want, and somebody take you up from that moment to face-to-face explanation, telling you everything you need. But I have been able to tap into the online platform. But just imagine I'm not there, I'm not present, and hearing somebody that really wants to see something, maybe about a live product. You need something that will even tell him the first step. Or we have a product that can actually fit into your plan. After seeing that, the next level, somebody is calling you immediately, we're fixing an appointment with you. So it's not going to be purely online, leaving it online. There are certain products that you can actually push up through online, like all these simple products of motor
Purchases.
insurance.
But what he has said, what doctor said, what doctor said now, yes.
To an extent, professionalism, you still have a number of insurance companies practicing professionalism. For us in ICO Insurance, we pride ourselves in professionalism. Mr. Oguntade can attest to that. You understand? Right. So risk assessment is the first thing you do. Doctor is right in saying that people just fix prices, but that is not best practice. That's what some of the companies that are setting themselves apart are doing. Pricing appropriately. Probably you live in Lekki, you don't commute your vehicle, little exposure. Why should I charge you the same premium, the same pricing, with somebody that stays on the mainland, always on the road?
Okay, but when you say blanket 5,000 naira for third-party motor insurance, that's the price. In fact, yesterday at the radio station where I do my radio program, somebody was telling me that they can actually get it for less than 5,000 naira.
3,000. 3,000. Yes. 3,000. Some companies offer it for 3,000.
So how do you, if you put that on online as a platform to sell insurance, how does that work? I'm asking
let me, I will respond quickly to so many issues. I do not go with the position of doctor that we don't do proper underwriting in Nigeria. I've done more than 2 decades, close to 3 decades in the industry. And then I want to say that Nigerian Insurance that I work for, it's to a great extent, it's a professional company. And that's why we have been up and doing up to now. It's a marketplace of where we have more than over 100 insurance companies. And if your company has been able to survive up to now, it means that there's been a bit of professionalism in what we do. And we have done more than 50 years in this industry. But we also, without trying to also push our image, I can also conveniently tell you that people like Obasanjo have confirmed the fact that, if compared to the fact that, we dealt with Nigerian insurance sometimes ago and we enjoyed that service. So on that basis, I want to say there's still some very good insurance professionals. There's nowhere you go to that you don't find the good, the bad.
But not all the products anyway. Not all the products.
But you cannot use the bad or the ugly
judge everybody.
Some of us are still very, very good. That is one. 2, the issue of online. You know, there are some myths and some realities that we must start addressing.
Yes.
Before now, everybody thought that online is a way for scammers. But we have started addressing realities. I will tell you 2, 3 banks that now you could go on Facebook and open an account. Before now, people were never doing it. whether you criticize it so much or not, that is the way to go, and you must start addressing those realities. That you cannot do anything online. I'm not too sure whether it's not possible. I think that you can do everything.
You can marry online.
Yeah, I think that you can do.
People marry
do it.
online. People marry
Virtual. So I think that you can do virtually everything online.
Yeah.
We have companies all over the world that they are just virtual companies. Virtual companies means they don't have blocks and mortals, and they operate. So what do you call that one? That is strictly online. So some of these realities, some of our myths, we should throw them away and address the reality of where we are going to. I will also take Dr. Hunt. We have universities now online.
Yes.
So what is
There are
special
universities online, but then when you look at acceptance of degrees from those universities, it's quite limited.
What is my acceptance?
Now, if you're talking about 100% online,
Yeah.
there are some universities that will not accept the certificate. Even some companies will not accept the certificate. That is through an online
you are speaking
media.
because you are from your university.
No, you see, there are some
there
programs.
are so many employers. What you only need to do is to just do a quality check.
Yes, you can do that.
Universities are licensed online. So why are we holding on to the Nigerian mentality that you cannot do all those things?
You see,
we must face the reality of what the modern world has become.
Yes, that's the problem of rushing into it. The fact that it worked elsewhere doesn't mean it's going to work here. Have we conducted enough research to be able to ascertain that this thing will work for us? That's what I'm saying. Have you done that? And that's where the town and the ground needs to come together.
Doctor, let me tell you one funny experience. I was sharing that one with him before we came online. When I was doing my master's in one university, I won't mention that university, and the professor came, and I was doing a master's in industrial labor relations, and the man wanted to put us through, and he said when he did his first degree, he did this in English, but when he got abroad for masters, he crossed over and did a master's in business.
Yeah.
We now asked him, in Nigeria, will you allow that? He said, yeah, you know, this is Nigeria. It's because we have held on to this fact that nothing can change in Nigeria. And as long as we hold on to those views, we'll be the one dragging down this system. To me, there is nothing that practically that you cannot do online. You only need to understand those situations. Even radio stations, don't you have them online? So what is special in all these online, these brick and mortar positions? It's a matter of understanding the online and addressing and moving on. And then you basically
and putting the right process in place. Once you can put the right process in place, you can manage online.
The truth about any process is the integrity of that process.
That is it.
Once the integrity is in place and value is created, value is exchanged, then you can see it as a valid and mutually satisfactory relationship. While me as a broker will always support online, I will also want to posit that online transactions by underwriters should accommodate intermediaries.
Yeah.
If you are going to do an online transaction that eliminates the intermediary, then you are causing chaos in the market. The other area where the other intermediaries have advantage, they will take undue advantage of it. And that is what has caused problems all this while. I believe that insurance is sold everywhere in the world, and there's always an intermediary somewhere. Even where an intermediary is not there at the beginning, you're an intermediary when the claim crystallizes. Yes, you have an intermediary when the claim crystallizes. There are lawyers abroad who don't do any form of advocacy. All they do is they wait for a claim to crystallize. Give them a call.
That they refuse to pay.
No, once you have a claim, before you even file, give them a call. They do the filing and follow up. You understand? So if people are going online to avoid intermediaries, brokers and the rest, people will find a way of pushing in intermediaries one way or the other. That is one. Secondly, the retail thing that we are saying we should do, all of this online thing is just still about motor, fire for your house. But for the real micro, which is the bedrock of the insurance practice, online will not work. Yeah. Because you are going to have to put people together. You see, if you are going to do it individually, it's going to be expensive to manage. But what I'm saying is that, see, why don't we work as a team, deepen the market, derive value for everybody? If You say you want to do online. Fine, I know that online you are still talking to people in the cities. You're
Exactly.
not talking to people in the villages.
villages.
Yeah.
So the
So you
online
still not living in insurance.
Why are you agreeing on to that?
There are some people out there.
In remote places.
There are people out there that are not IT compliant.
That does not mean that it's only in the cities that you have internet.
What percentage of it?
Even people that have internet in the village, what's the percentage of people that have access to other form of IT? Do they have the education? They have the research knowledge for them to be able to use it.
You see, for me,
That's why I say,
you have two of some of the best in Nigeria in terms of underwriting firms. When talking from their own perspective, most of the things they proceeded there, I agree with. But the truth is that they're speaking for less than 10% of the operators. We still have operators today that you scan documents to them, and they still will not treat the scanned documents. They wait for their copies.
Okay, so how do they tap into online?
You can imagine. So if Aiko is talking, if Naija is talking, we still have some other 8 or so that can talk, that will agree with on that basis. But what I'm saying is this: the medium for effective delivery, there must be restructuring of the medium as it is. There must be cohesion in the market, and the regulator must be willing to be flexible.
It's a wrap on the Town Hall special, Best of 2016. I do hope you enjoyed every bit of it. Here is our solemn pledge. 2017, we promise to bring you more thought-provoking interviews with key personalities in our usual manner of no holds barred. Don't forget to follow us on all our platforms, email, and website. My name is Jennifer Obiji Ebube. Until we come your way next week, thank you for your company and goodbye.